YouTube. Hey. Anyway, you can probably see my snack from all the way back there, can't you? But anyway, continuing off. Hang on. I'm trying to like get my screen back here. Okay. So pretty much leaving off our catching up from where I left off. Sorry. I hate doing that. But anyway, pretty much we see Morgan out in the prowl hunting away, where this is where I was talking about in the last video, where he ends up stumbling upon this field of flowers, and when the light hits that field just right, it looks so freaking peaceful. It kind of looks like a scene from Bambi or something. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I noticed it, and I don't know if that's symbolic in any shape or form, but that little patch of field that Morgan ends up stumbling across while he was hunting, where it's like there's flowers, there's no evil people or walkers, there's no, just nothing there but peaceful greenery, flowers, and the perfect lighting. And it was just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And, just seeing that was pretty effing cool. Hang on. I'm hungry. Stoppies! Anyway, like, when he's hunting, he pretty much stumbles across what seems like a very nice looking cabin. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted because there's another screen over there. Sorry. I'm like hella distracted. But anyway, he ends up in this cabin. Nice ass cabin, I'm not gonna lie. If I saw that cabin, I'd be like, this is the perfect getaway place. If it weren't for the apocalypse. It's really nice. But anyway, basically, there's one person there who is just living in that cabin and has a pet goat, apparently, because the first thing that Morgan saw when he stumbled upon the cabin was the goat. The goat, who, by the way, is named Tabitha, and played by real-life goat, Ruby! So, amen to that wonderful, wonderful little goat. Anyway, wow. Anyway, we stumbles upon the only inhabitant of that entire nice-ass cabin, and his name is Eastman. I'm not sure if that's his first name or last name, but anyway, his name is Eastman. And while he's, like, shooting at Eastman, you know, all that stuff, because, you know, Morgan's still batshit crazy, Eastman manages to do what I thought was pretty badass, and he manages to knock his ass out and trap him in a cell inside the cabin, which I thought was pretty funny. And then you find out that Eastman apparently is a former... Yeah. You find out Eastman's a former forensic psychiatrist, which I thought was pretty cool. Got some backstory to this new dude. And also the fact that Eastman, he's been pretty much living a peaceful life while taking care of his goat in that little cabin area. And the funny thing is, while Morgan's in that cell, you see Eastman pretty much going about his life in the cabin. You know, he's taking care of his goat, he's pretty much farming, and making cheese from the goat milk, which, cute enough, you actually see a scene of him trying his cheese and failing miserably. I thought that was pretty cute. But also, you see Eastman practicing Aikido, which I thought was pretty cool. I can't pronounce it very well. Aikido? Aikido! It might be Aikido. I might have pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I'm bad at pronouncing shit. But anyway, then we pretty much find out that Eastman, the way he acts, kind of reminds you of somebody. Morgan, when we first see him again reunite with Rick, that same very attitude that Morgan displays, the Zen martial art master, Zen mode thing, apparently you might not figure out just by looking at Eastman where Morgan got it from, right? But Eastman pretty much believes in all life is precious and humans are not meant to kill the living, which I believe is also a good thing. And that's pretty much what we saw Morgan adopt later on. And I'm surprised at how long Eastman's lasted in that cabin, because we all know it's not just the walkers that are roaming about on the world anymore in this apocalypse. There are people out there too. And I'm surprised that he hasn't come across actual people who have tried to raid his cabin, you know what I mean? Because it's like, Morgan stumbled upon it easily. Especially with little goat Tabitha out there. A lot of people, not just walkers, could have stumbled upon it, and I'm highly surprised. I'm not gonna lie. But, while Eastman's trying to get Morgan to talk and all that shit, pretty much Eastman tells Morgan, well, this is afterwards, but beforehand, it was just funny seeing Morgan using any means necessary to try to break out of that jail, even using a zipper. Now you really know that he's part of Rick's group, because as we've seen in previous seasons and episodes, Rick's group can be very versatile when it comes to random ass, items that they own to make weapons. I mean, look at Rosita when they were in Terminus. Rosita used her earrings as a weapon. I mean, and now Morgan is using a zipper, like this big, to try to escape a jail, which he was pretty spot on up until Eastman came back, so he had to make sure everything was the way it was. But I thought it was pretty funny how Eastman's all telling Morgan, "Oh yeah, the cell door was open the whole time. Just didn't tell you." And hang on, I heard my phone go off. Who is email? No, don't care. But anyway. It was pretty funny about that when he's like, "Oh yeah, it's open, go ahead, just go through. But if you try to kill me, I'll knock you out," which is pretty much what happened, because Morgan opens the thing, he opens the gate, pretty much tries to subdue Eastman, who pretty much repels his attack, which I thought was pretty funny, by the way. Because it's like, son's gonna knock you out. Anyway. Ironically enough, Morgan actually does return to his cell, but shortly afterwards he sees that poor little Tabitha the goat was about to get, straight up eaten by walkers. So, basically, to save Tabitha, Morgan leaves the cell again to protect the goat, which I thought was there's humanity in Morgan. Oh my god! Which I thought was pretty funny. I don't know about you guys, but it's good to see that Morgan still has humanity, even if it's for a goat. So, anyway, going past that, hang on. Let's get to the part where Morgan actually, pretty much figures out where all the walkers that Eastman kills where he puts them all, and you find out that Eastman has apparently not only killed the walkers, he drags them over to a burial site where he actually buries them all, and they end up bonding to the point where Eastman actually teaches Aikido to Morgan, who, amazingly enough, starts to get that Zen. You know, he's starting to bring in that peace and Zen that we all know Morgan now to have. But when they both end up going to Morgan's old camp, Morgan starts, you know, getting some trauma right there, some PTSD moment right there, and pretty much Eastman has to practice Aikido on the spot with Morgan because he's going through like a PTSD trauma thing, and I feel sorry for Morgan. I don't know what really triggered it. You guys can put in the comments why it ended up being triggered. I think it might have been, you know, since it's Morgan's old camp, and he was already batshit crazy when he made that camp, and he wrote all that shit everywhere. I think that's the reason why he went all traumatized. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Hang on. Blah. Anyway, what's worse off is when they were practicing, one random walker ends up coming out of the trees to attack them, and pretty much Eastman's like, "Go ahead, Morgan, you got this one." But the moment Morgan's about to kill it, he realizes that the walker that's coming at them happens to be the very son that he ended up strangling to death earlier in the episode. You know, he stabbed the dad in the throat with a pointy stick, and he just strangled the son. And it turns out the son became a walker, and here he comes toward him. So because of that, Morgan just straight up freezes. And because of, I want to say he freezes mainly because out of guilt, because, you know, he strangled that kid, and now he's coming back as a walker right there. And I'm not surprised that Morgan feels a bit of guilt about that, because he's starting to, you know, be more zen, and now his past is coming back, literally, to come at him. So, like, because Morgan freezes on the spot, it forces Eastman to, you know, push him out of the way and killing the walker, but unfortunately, before he kills that walker, poor Eastman gets bitten in the process, which I feel so badly for him right there, because I like Zen Dude. I'm gonna agree with Chris from Talking Dead. He is like, Eastman literally is like Yoda to Morgan, which I loved about him. So seeing him get bit really, like, just Yoda! It's like losing Yoda all over again for me. It's just wrong. Anyway, oh my god. The fact that Morgan freaks out because of that, you know, because he literally wants to die. And just like Chris Hardwick said on The Talking Dead, with the rest of the guests he had. And I agree with Lenny, the actor who plays Morgan, you know, it's like, he's at the point of giving up. He's like, I just want to die. I want to give up and all that stuff. And he really wanted that walker to kill him so he could just end it all. And I'm not surprised that it's like, it's pretty much like a suicide attempt. He wants to die, but Eastman pretty much stops him and gets bitten in the process. And he's like, why did you stop me? Why did you stop myself? Why did you stop that perfect opportunity for me to die? You know what? Because you stopped me from dying, I want you to kill me and all that stuff. And it's like, poor Morgan's just out of it right there. He just wants to end life. And it's heartbreaking, you know? Morgan's been through enough. And I'm not surprised that he wanted to give up so easily. He lost his wife, he lost his kid, he lost his sanity. I don't really blame him, you know? It's not an easy life to live, to be pretty much living in the apocalypse. It's like survivor's guilt, and I don't blame him on that. And I just realized I'm running out of time again, and apparently there's going to be a part 3 to this entire thing. So, I will see you guys in the next video, and I can't believe I'm making more than 2 videos in an episode, but apparently that's that. I will return, and hopefully, part 3 will be the end of this. And I could finally do my video for Once Upon a Time. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, and oh my god, bye.